welcome to some One Piece action. If you're new to the channel, please give us a subscribe. And if you're a returning viewer and have not subscribed yet, please give us a subscribe. It definitely helps the channel grow. All right. So we are playing Purple Katakuri. And it's interesting, doing some research, trying to figure things out. I'm like, because it's tough when you do some research, right? It's tough because you might have to kind of, let me just get it out. You might come across cherry pick videos, and I'm not trying to make people sound bad or anything. That's why, hesitation, which means it's like, wow, this deck is really good. Wow, this deck is super strong. So you kind of have to just keep going and see the ugly until you see the ugly, right? And what I mean by that is, it was funny when I talk about, when I say cherry pick, I'm talking about dominance. You know what I'm saying? Just like, dag, this thing looks zero tier. What the heck is going on? How can it be, in the position that it's at? So that's when I say cherry pick, I'm talking about some S tier looking content, right? So yeah, you got to go till you find some normal looking average Joe wins. What happens if you don't get the 8-drop Katakuri? Because yeah, it's funny. A lot of the videos kind of the same win conditions. They'll have 7 8-drop Katakuris on the board going ham, and I'm like, this is every video though. And we know the app ain't gonna do that for you all the time. So going through the growing pains, it's okay, you know what, this guy is the same as 2 other leaders. I'll give you a moment to guess which other leaders. Give you a moment. All right, you ready? Red Purple Kid and Magellan. I was about to say Purple Magellan, but there's only one Magellan. So 2 leaders that in the same pocket, right? Don minus gives a pump. That's it. Very bare bones stability. Now I think we can see getting a pump, without something extra is not good enough in this game. That's just number one. And having to deal with a consistent Don minus slows you down by a lot. Purple's advantage is ramping ahead of your opponent. Purple's advantage is getting to 10 Don state at turn 4, right? So when you have to constantly burn your Don, you can't really gain that ramping advantage. That's just one. And then thing number 2 is usually when it comes to these type of leaders, you're trying to trigger their leader ability constantly. And because of that, your deck suffers. Your build actually suffers when you put a lot of Don compensation characters or cards, or even ramping. So yeah, in other words, because Magellan came from a different time, right? That was a different time. So he's in a different boat. I mean, same boat, but he's on the other end of the boat, right? So he's a different time. His ramp came from his cards needing to be KO'd, so it wasn't really good ramping, and he didn't have an innate ability to trigger his leader ability. He needed other cards to do that. So it's just kind of a sad story in regards to Magellan. Yeah. He came out. If he came out now, then they probably would have made it easier to trigger his leader ability. Not that it's difficult. Man, I'm talking about Magellan, right? But you know what? Let me, just because Magellan's my boy, I'm gonna wrap this up. Yeah, it's just you have to build the deck to ramp and build the deck to Don minus just to use your leader ability without suffering. Yeah, the problem with Magellan. Now, move over to Kid, who's probably closer to Katakuri. Is both leaders have this ability to keep Don minusing, but that's once again that slows you down. And then obviously you want to mitigate the negativities of your leader. So therefore you're loading your deck up with a bunch of Don cards. And it kind of happened, right? I'm talking too much, but wow, I hate when the app does that. All those 3 copies of the 1-drop blocker literally all together. Anyway, before hitting this 8-drop and stuff, when you look at the board state, and he's like, who has the more intimidating board state, right? Because you have a character that essentially is just ramping you, right? And cycle, Pedal's pretty decent thanks to the cycling. Meanwhile, he has a character that has the ability for board removal, right? So it's like, it's two different utilities, and one is probably you can consider way better than the other. But anyway, what you call it? So yes, you look at Red Purple Kid, you look at Katakuri, way more similar because they're always down minusing, like I said. So the deck lacks. You know what? Yeah, I was on the right track. I split the thought in my head, so I felt like I was talking about two different topics. But anyway, what you call it? Yeah, so your board is filled. Like, look at our board state right now, right? Outside of the fact that 8-drop Katakuri and I would say Petal Sparrow have good effects along with this ramping, right? It's like, I kind of want to see what's going to happen. Damn. So we lost our 8-drop Katakuri just like that. Okay, so this is even better, right? Okay, cool. So yeah, we have like bare bones, right? So thankfully Katakuri is a blocker and he restands along with the ramping Dawn. So I would say in the future, we're going to get more characters that ramp / do something else, right? Because look at these board states, especially for these type of decks, these type of builds, they lack in this regard. Because you look at the opponent, Sanji allowed him to summon another big body, right? So 2 big bodies in one play. The second big body allowed you to remove a big body on our end of the board off the board, and then he has a 7-drop that can remove things off the board. His characters have more intimidating effects than our characters, because our characters are just helping us ramp while his characters are helping him control the board. So that is the reason why these leaders lack along with that pump. The pump is not good enough. The pump is simply not good enough, right? So that's where the realm of complication is coming from. Oh, okay, see, bricks galore. I be hating. Let me calm down. It's just like this meta of heavy drops and board removal, right? It'd be like you see their hand. It's a weird thing in my head, right? You're like, oh, they have to have counter power. Nope, 4 bricks, 5 bricks. Oh, because they're so greedy, they just want to drop things and ruin your gaming experience. That's what this meta has become. It's just like, dude, take that off, dude, trash that, dude. I hate it. It's annoying, but good for you with your lack of counter power. You deserve it. Anyway, that's enough, living through trauma. Where was I? So that's why Katakuri and Kid and Magellan lacks, because with Magellan's extra slow with no guarantee to trigger his leader ability. That's what I'm saying. It's like, different time. He's the grandfather of why this is bad. But I would say like the characters, like you have Rush, you have Blocker, you have Double Attack, you have Banish. That's a little bit different, right? But if you look at Kid's cards, you look at Katakuri's cards, they don't really help you do anything. They either help you compensate for your lack of leader ability or something, right? So your builds lack in terms of being competitive. Like when you use the cards that's supposed to help you with your leader, they don't help you claim board presence, they don't help you swarm, they don't help you gain life, they don't help you do anything but really just ramp, right? I think Kid's cards outside of 5-drop Kid didn't even help him ramp, to be honest. It's just like, well, one got a pump and the other one helps you cycle. And then of course I know they came out with some newer cards. So I say all that to say is that basically I think I understand what might help these leaders. And it's so funny, right? Just to keep diving in leader similarity, I would like to throw in Yellow Katakuri and Smoker. So the other concept here that I forgot to articulate is a pump is not good enough. If you are a pump plus good effect, then yes. Now, pertaining to Yellow Katakuri, especially in comparison to purple, is that I would argue that looking at life and being able to set it up, especially for triggers, is a different ball game. Right now, of course, you would imagine, okay, looking at the top deck, you get to know more cards in the opponent's hand, but triggers can change game. So that's a big difference, right? Triggers can change the game, and yellow Katakuri allows you to manipulate that. So I felt like that's what made him stand out so much, even though he is a pump leader effect. You see this Katakuri pump leader effect. Looking at the top deck, you can argue one of two things. You can either say, having access to information is not good enough in this meta, in this format, right? In this style of leader, because yellow Katakuri also fell off, right? But I would argue yellow Katakuri is better. But then again, his kit is better. There's a difference, right? There's so much difference because he doesn't have to don minus, and he doesn't need cards to help him ramp. He gets cards to help him with life. Man, there's so much to say. I feel like this is one of those One Piece universities, because streamer university. I don't know if y'all heard about that, but anyway, back. Yes. So pump abilities aren't really good unless they have a complementary effect that is really good. So just to simplify that, because there's always variables and blah blah blah. Everything's debatable, but you see the state of all those leaders. Let's just kind of blanket it real quick. You see the state of all those leaders. Pump abilities are not good enough unless you got something to complement it. It's weird because, that's a different game. 6K leaders, like you look at Whitebeard, and all he does is just be 6K. It's kind of funny. Anyway, I know that's more to it. I simplified it. But yeah, so let's take a huge step back, right? Somewhere in the middle. So Katakuri purple is, pump leader while he's minusing Don, so that's where the complication is. So I want to see if I can find a sweet spot where you can essentially, get to your 10 Don state, because like most purple decks, once you're at your 10 Don state, you don't really have to care. You can kind of just play your game. You don't really have to care. So yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I can figure out some sort of strategy for that and see how effective it can be. Get to your 10 Don state, not focus too heavy on ramping. And I share some of this idea because I remember one time coming across a video talking about not putting so many ramp cards in Black Purple King, and I was like, oh, that's right. So completely revamped that deck once upon a time and made it. We made a strong build, all because of getting some information from someone within the community. I can't remember their channel or whatever. Forgive me. But yeah, that's the power of us as a collective. You know what I'm saying? We kind of can help each other figure something out, some cool stuff out. So yeah, I'm going to borrow that ideology and I'm going to try to apply it to this leader along with Red Purple Kid and Magellan whenever we can get to them and see if we can make builds and see how that works. Because essentially, I want to say the strength in a pump effect is not really using your Don, essentially. Like you're getting around that. I don't need to use Don or this much Don to swing effectively. So I think if you can let that shine through without complications, then yeah, you'll probably see some good stuff. So I think I did justice with being as informative as possible. And I say all that to say, unless you really like what you see in these matches, we're definitely going to go back into the lab with Purple Katakuri and change up the deck list. So you will be getting a different deck list, unless you see something you like. And yeah, sooner than later, I guess, if you really see what you like, sooner than later, just say, hey, I want this deck list to see if I can do something with it, and we'll share it before we completely dismantle it and try a new build. Oh, this is an interesting play. This is a pretty good play. So, puts us in a situation where if you mathematically, it's like we can lose our whole hand. So he's trying to bet against us having what we need. See, so all it was 2Ks. And that's still a lot at the end of the day. It's still a lot. But yes, it's an understandable gamble. Especially because, mind you what I was talking about a second ago, a lot of people play bricks. So he's like, there's no way. He probably more than likely doesn't have it. But we did. We did have it. Now, a similar game state back at you. So now you have to have 2Ks and a 1K in order to get out of this. So we're demanding 3 cards out of your hand minimum from this. And boom, now you just lost that. And here we have an 8K swing. Okay, we're going to go 6K at lead. Interesting. Okay, so that makes it more guaranteed for us to try to take something off the board. Keep in mind, because Pedro, he gives us an active Dawn, so that's clever. So that means we can attack their 9-drop if we want to take that chance. Oh, we're going for lead. Okay, see me, I played differently. I would have just like tried to get rid of the board and see if I can live for another turn. Now, you could try to leave the 10-drop up because it's 12K, and 12K is easier to protect. Okay, so restanding it basically guarantees it for the next game, is how I see it. Or not next game, the next turn. Because now we got the 12K. So they can try to attack our 7K if they want, but they're not. They're going for lead. They're trying to end this game. When you think about it, they don't got no cards and 1 blocker, so I get it, trying to just push for game right now. So yeah, we could use our abilities. Oh, okay, they just said F this. Because that would make us 7K by default. And he has 4 Dawn, 9K, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we had enough to counter out. That was an interesting sequence of events. All right, now time for some legit commentary. We played the blocker. Well, it's not even it's a pseudo blocker at the moment. Swing for 9, dag. I wonder if it's going to be one of those like obnoxious, ooh. Circumstance like this is fantastic for us because here we are able to swing back hard enough because we got pudding on the board. Essentially, that's what pudding is for. It's like now you get to constantly freely use your leader ability without thinking. I mean, it's always good, right? It's like having the stage card back in those Animal Kingdom days. You get the stage card, you get to freely play. Man, that was an experience, you know what I'm saying? It was always funny, like if you didn't get stage, you lost. It was kind of creepy and terrible. Well, we got 2 puddings, so now we're officially ramping. Which is kind of funny, because then it kind of, and then it makes like all the other ramping cards irrelevant. That's the problem. Even though, like, not that I didn't just go over it for like the past 15 minutes, but that's the problem when the deck has to be filled with so much ramp cards, because now it's like it does get to a point where they're just not worth it. You get to your 10 Dawn state, and then they're in a weird way bricks, you can kind of say, in a different context. They're not worth using, let's say that. You probably should get rid of the puddings, but then again, I think we're done ramping, so wait, okay. I was just like, wait, nothing's happening. I'm like used to what do you call it? Not seeing the card until the card's effect has resolved. 12K, you're taking that, yep. It would have been a sin if Bon Clay was able to copy our own character. Then that'd be game next turn. I mean, mind you, this is a 6K leader. Be ready for some 6K shenanigans. They need to get rid of the big body. It's too devastating. It's too high of an attack power. So they have to either get some blockers on the board or get it off the board. And I know that Bond Clay is also making them think. That's probably why they're taking a while. Man. Or maybe they're picking up their DoorDash. Okay. Low key, you have to take the Bond Clay off the board. Yeah. It's either, it was like, no way. I mean, you already, oh, you can still cancel. We got the 2K. I guess that's still good value, right? Because, well, it didn't matter economically. It's like we pop a Don, chuck a 1K, or chuck a 2K. Given the Don state and the amount of cards in hand, yeah, it all value to the same thing. So yeah, it didn't matter. Oh, they're about to get an 8-drop Katakuri. Oh, I think I get it. Yeah, we swung for 8. I wonder why we still got a Don up, though. Okay, to play the blocker. Doi. So now we got we got too much life cards. They can't attack our board. If they start swinging on us, that counterattack is relatively real. But granted, the state that they're in, maybe it would be better to ignore the board and just keep putting pressure on leader, maybe. Because 9K is stronger than 6K. So if they're able to defend their leader, they're definitely going to be able to defend their characters. Oh, we got 2 blockers. 2 blockers on board, 3 life. Man, we're good. So it would give us a turn to attack their board. And then we can essentially, well, Will's going to be able to restand our characters at that. So, yeah. So these 1-drop blockers are really protecting life. Oh, another Big Mom. Okay, that's probably going to be Pedo. Well, yeah, because I'm like, that's more attacks you'll have to deal with. Man, if Big Mom didn't eat so much Dawn. Oh, we're just taking? Interesting. Oh, wow, that's hilarious. They didn't want to give us the Bond Clay, but you would have put us at 1, but then again, it's not like we don't got a bunch of defense, right? Oh, yeah, you debating? Mathematically, it's probably better to just take that one and then see what we do with our next play. Because that's 12. At least you know if we're going to try to swing big, we have to Don X. Like Katakuri is 8. So if we want to swing for like 12 again, we'd have to put 4 Don. Okay, there it goes. Oh my God. That play is dangerous, but we still swung for 10. Interesting. Hilarious. Yeah, so next turn we should have game. We should have game because we got 2 blockers still and 2 life. And they're not playing blockers. They just crap their hand to stay in the game. And even if they play another 9-drop Big Mom, it's only going to give them 1 life card. And no real Don to play with. The other funny thing is I'm surprised we didn't play the event to search for some counter power. I mean, we're in a winning position, but you know, technically, we could have saved 1, play the event, and you know, just get literally anything with counter power. Because at this point, this is definitely the last turn. And he plucked a blocker. Clutch. Is it clutch, given what this leader does? Ooh. We're seeing 2 blockers. No, Isanji 6. So he would need to eat Don somehow right now to play Sanji for cheap. Because we're at 10. Right? No, I think you need to be 2 less than your opponent. So unless he got like a weird 2-drop card that eats 2 Don, yeah, he can't play the Sanji. So Sanji's counter power right now. We take, which technically gives us more counter power. We take. We block. We block. All it takes is 1 misclick and this whole game would have been over. Ain't that? Oh, that's a sad story. Okay, there's the giant. And giant's probably going to be fishing for more giants. That you had to double giant that 1 play. That's wicked. Low-key, I'm surprised we didn't just put everything on the 12K and swing. Because even if they were remarkably able to defend that, how in the world are you stopping 2 8s and a 6 right behind that? See, another 12K swing, putting them in the same predicament. That would be something if somehow they was able to stay in this game. It's like the 2 Don from the Usopp was necessary for us to get victory. So that's their 3rd giant. Wow, this is what makes that card good. Three cards left in hand. I mean, I think there's nothing wrong with swinging like that again. Okay, we just go for 8. And eat a Don. Wow, that's that 4th giant is literally right there. GG.